Welcome back to Unraveling the Brain. I'm your host, Dr. Josh Mattson. Today, I got a really cool parent interview from our Colorado clinic. And this mom came all the way from Montana with her son, Josh. And Dr. Tess is actually interviewing the parent and getting to share her experience with being here and the massive changes that improved in a short couple weeks. She gets to share their journey through going through Infinity and the changes that happened in a really short time of being calmer, having better attention, and even getting compliments from strangers on behaviors that of how well he was doing, even after a very short period of time of addressing some of these underlying primitive reflexes and underlying root causes. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's jump into the podcast.
Well, today you are here with Colorado Infinity, and we are talking about your son, Josh. Yes. Tell us a little bit about how you came to find Infinity.
So my mom and I have been following on Instagram for probably less than a year even. We followed Infinity, I expanded from that and started following Dr. Josh in his other profiles and everything. I think there's like 3 different profiles, but we follow all of them. And we decided that, this could totally help our lives. It just, everything about it, that we have done research on, does he have ADHD? Does he have autism? Does he have other things? And none of it seemed to fit. He's very high functioning. He doesn't obviously present those, but there were moments that make us question.
Sure.
So when we saw the Denver was opening, we were very excited because there's a direct flight. We're from Montana, and there's a direct flight from Missoula, Montana here to Colorado. There's a direct flight from my mom who lives in California here to Colorado. So we decided this is the place that we wanted to be. And so we got on the waiting list very early, and we made the jump that this was what we were going to do, that we needed to help my son, both my sons really, figure out how to be the best selves that they could be. So we made the jump and got on the list, and here we are today.
Here you are today, and Josh is doing great.
He is.
What were some of those symptoms that he was exhibiting before, maybe behaviors or in school, at home? Tell them how to make that decision.
In school, Josh, even as a kindergartner, we got calls from the principal that, hey, he overreacted to another kid, and I think we got 2 calls as a kindergarten student that he had either pushed another kid or his just outward behaviors, because he has a lot of sensory issues, and if another kid brushes up against him, he used to get stimulated too quickly with, or overstimulated too quickly with his reactions. And since being here, I've noticed that his reactions are like, he doesn't startle, he doesn't flinch even with things that I even flinch to.
Yeah.
He's just really calmed down, I should say. Not so much of the ADHD feeling symptoms. He's just really mellowed out. He's much more mellow as a child.
Have you noticed any improvements in maybe like his reaction time and things, his response time, or him following directions, being able to sit down and focus? I know that you at one point had also got a comment from a stranger in a restaurant. Yeah. Tell us about that.
So recently, let's back up. For when he was ending first grade, he came home one day and just was crying because he said, I want to be like the other kids. I want to be able to play ball and not be left out. He didn't feel like he had the focus and the stamina to keep up with her, even the attention to grab a ball and throw it back to somebody. He didn't have all that. He didn't have the balance and the coordination. So now, after being here, he has in leaps and bounds improved his coordination and his attention span. So we went out to dinner the other night, and because being far away, we have to eat out a lot, and we got a compliment from a stranger that said, your son is so well behaved. I'm so impressed. That is just like the best feeling, because that was less than 2 weeks in, and we could see the difference, and strangers can see the difference, that he is a well-behaved child, that we're doing the right thing by being here.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten a comment
Not like that. No, we actually used to avoid restaurants because we were afraid of how the reactions would be.
Wow.
We'd avoid taking them to church even because we were afraid of how they act.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, when we would go out to restaurants, they would have a screen in front of them. And that was the biggest thing, is we had taken away screen time, and it only took like 4, maybe 5 days before he stopped asking for it.
Wow.
He doesn't ask for a screen. He doesn't look for a screen. He will sit there and play with his little guys, play with Legos, play with a balloon for a long period of time. Just his attention span is tremendous now. It's like 2 hours without any interaction from myself or my mother, and he will just sit there and play in the room.
That's incredible. Because I know after the first day, he'd had a pretty big meltdown the first day that he had, right? Because we were just implementing taking away screens and all of that. And
Yep.
what have you noticed the difference in with how he handles that disappointment from that very first day until today?
So the first day, he had like a half-hour meltdown that night because it had been day 2, I believe, of not having any screen time. And that was huge because he had his tablet in front of him probably half the day. And, it's easy as a parent to use a screen as babysitter. But with Joshua, he took to it not having it. And now he's able to just focus. And that just means the world to us, that he can focus. I felt before therapy that he was going to not know how to play anymore. That's how desperate I was. I was like, I don't think he even knows how to play. He would come to me saying he was bored after just 10 minutes of not having screen time.
Gosh.
And now, 2 hours in, and he's able to play and able to just be by himself, not having to have adult interaction, not having to have any interaction, really. He can just sit there and play.
Yeah.
And that's huge. Kids need to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's really big. 2 hours of attention span for any age is difficult. And so if he's able to do that within this 2-week period, it's huge.
It's huge.
You mentioned his balance and coordination in sports, and we had him balancing on uneven surfaces, on balls that were upside down, and catching a ball at the same time while he is, using those cognitive skills and, recalling information all at the same time. How do you feel like he will do in the future when playing sports with his friends now?
So he signed up for soccer right now, and I think even just the coordinating his right brain, left brain to take the ball down the field. He's going into 2nd grade. He's at the prime age for group sports, and being able to catch a ball playing baseball will be great for him. All his friends play baseball, so why shouldn't he play baseball?
Sure.
Exactly. So we're going to sign him up next year for baseball, and he's going to play soccer this fall, and then maybe even basketball, and maybe in the future, who knows what he could have. His world is wide open with this therapy.
Yeah, that's amazing. So if you had tried multiple interventions prior to coming to here,
yes.
Is that right?
Yes. So before coming to Infinity, we had done neurofeedback with a doctor, and it was 36 or 42 weeks of an hour session twice a week.
Wow.
And it was intense, and it was, while we were doing it, it felt great. But afterwards, we didn't see any effects stick with him. And they said, well, you can always come back. That wasn't what we wanted. We didn't feel like it was affecting the root cause of why he was needing the therapy. And coming to Infinity after watching all the videos of other kids and seeing the reflexes that were needed, I thought Josh maybe had 1 or 2 reflexes that we're addressing. He had 7 out of 8 present. So that was huge when we figured that out. And you and your associates were able to just pick and choose daily what needed to be assessed. And he's a rock star and has made it through all the therapies. And I think they're pretty much all gone.
Yeah, he is a rock star. We have made drastic improvements in those primitive reflexes. Now we're able to work up higher in that pyramid into even the balance vestibular portion of it. I know we had some ocular concerns coming in. And so just staying on top of all of that.
Yeah, his left eye used to wander, and I haven't seen it wandering. He does blink still, but blinking is normal, and it's just his way of coping. And his his wandering eye has diminished down to maybe once every few days I notice it, but it's not even noticeable. I bet you anybody from the outside world wouldn't notice that he had a wandering eye.
Right. And that's incredible because we haven't worked on anything ocular, right? So what we did was address that foundation in the pyramid before addressing those higher levels. And he's just made so much improvement. He is a rock star.
Yeah.
If you were to give advice to another parent who has maybe already tried something like neurofeedback or brain balance, or maybe they haven't done any interventions at all and they're just looking for a place to start, what would you tell them about coming to Infinity?
Call or email Infinity right away, because Joshua's life has improved tenfold. He's just so much more confident in what he does. I'm confident in that he can take the world on and do what he needs to do now, because we have been here and he's made strides. It's visible. It's a visible thing. And that's amazing.
Well, that feedback means a lot to me, and I'm sure my team as well, because we've been, with him for 2 weeks. It's going to be so hard to see you guys leave and not see him come in on Monday, but we're so excited for you. Email us, keep us up to date, truly, with what he has going on. We're going to send you home with a good home plan so that you can keep that progress going, and we'll keep in touch.
Sounds great.
Cool.
Thank you.